What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the BTB Show. Today we're going to be talking about how Indiana is basically tanking Halliburton coming back next year and what that team can look like next year coming in. So, who wants to start? Did we
I will.
discuss? You want to start? Let's do it.
I will absolutely start, man.
All right, let's do it.
What the Pacers have done will go down in NBA history as the greatest investment into their franchise. If you guys don't remember, the Pacers acquired this pick during the NBA Finals. I didn't know it was legal to trade picks throughout that time. Tyrese Halliburton was still expected to play at that time as well. They had a chance to legit win the Finals and Tyrese Halliburton have a full offseason to be healthy.
That's devil magic.
It didn't go. It didn't go that way. Obviously, we've seen what happened. Tyrese Halliburton got injured. One of the worst injuries we've seen in sports histories, especially in the NBA Finals. Absolutely crazy situation. But it might have just yielded them a top 5, top 3. Who knows? Even the number 1 pick in the NBA draft, in a draft that's one of the best we've seen, and really in back-to-back years because of how great this draft has been. But I think the Pacers are in a great position. I said it when we started in the offseason. I believe the Pacers should just tank. I seen they were kind of playing okay to start the year. I thought they should just play absolutely terrible. Shout out to Pascal Siakam, who refuses to let them completely die in games. Good thing that the Pacers aren't the best closing team now. I think they played the Hornets actually yesterday and won, which is a little bit disappointing in my book. I know I'm a hater. I know people are like, oh, tanking, it doesn't matter because what the Pistons did when they couldn't win they tanked every single year for like 7 years and still couldn't get the number 1 pick. But still, I think the Pacers, in my opinion, they should just continue to tank, get a top pick, and get a guy like, honestly, I think they could use a boozer. Looking at their team construction, they do not have any center presence. No, that's disrespectful. I'm sorry. Shout out to J Huff, ex-Laker. I think he's been a great-ish plug-in. But I don't know, man. I think they can definitely benefit from a guy like Boozer who pretty much does everything. He can shoot the 3 ball. He can rebound. He can defend. He can play make. I think his game will fit perfectly with Pascal Siakam and Tyrese Halliburton and give him a revitalized roster going into next season. So, yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on the Pacers. Great work by them, and continue to lose.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, shit, it's looking dangerous up there in Indiana. I mean, Earl kind of said everything that they could. If they get that first pick, do they go after Darren Peterson? Or if they get that second pick, they'll probably definitely pick up Cam Boozer. Like, there's so many options that the Indiana Pacers can select, even within that top 5. It's kind of crazy how good they can be with just the top 5 pick coming into next year. So, I mean, look, not to sound like a old broken record, but yeah, no, I feel like Indiana's gonna look a lot like the 76ers do this year. They have, what I mean by that is they have VJ Edgecombe, they have their leader in Tyrese Maxey, they have Joel coming back, kind of on a limp, but we know what Joel is at his healthiest. So, in my opinion, I feel like they could be in the middle of the pack next year, looking up and being like, oh my God, we're in 8th and we have the easiest path to the finals right now. I mean, maybe they see Detroit, maybe they see the Knicks, maybe they do this, maybe they do that, and they're in a position where Tyrese can just dominate again. It happened last year, and it happened last year, and God damn it, it could happen again. I'm scared. I'm scared of Indiana. I'm scared of Indiana. To move on. Killers. Yeah, exactly. See, I'm scared of Indiana.
I'll go next. I agree with Earl, Omar. Well, I agree with Earl for sure. Their tank job is very, very obvious. I think Rick Carlisle was on his 999th career win for like 13 games until yesterday. So like that just goes to show what this team is doing. I mean, Ben Mathurin is just not playing games. T.J. McConnell's on a minutes restriction. He's been back for like 20 games. So they're clearly tanking. They clearly don't want to be good. And then, to have a top 10 guy when healthy come back and Tyrese Halliburton, whether we agree or not. We saw what he did last year in the finals and throughout the season. He's probably the clutchest player in the NBA. And they're probably going to get a top 5 pick, bro. Like, unless they get punished like these last couple of lottery teams, like the Jazz who just tank and they just never get number 1. Unless that happens, and even if they don't get number 1, there's a good 8 players in the draft. They have there's Cole Pete out there. Like they said, Caleb Wilson, Malik Brown. There's so many good players out there in this draft. They're going to land somebody good to put next to Tyrese Halliburton, Pascal Siakam. And who would not want to play with Tyrese Halliburton as a big right now? I mean, even if they don't draft the center, this J-Huff is not a starter. No disrespect to J-Huff. He has his games. He just had 20 points, 2 rebounds the other night. Like, they need a big, and what big would not want to play with Tyrese Halliburton? They're going to get a big next year. They're going to be a competent team next year. This what we're seeing from Carlisle this year. I'm pretty sure he's dreading tanking like this because he's a top 10 coach of all time. Whether you want to agree with me or not, he's a top 10 coach of all time. He took a Mickey Mouse Pacers team to the finals. He beat LeBron and Dwayne Wade in the finals with Dirk Nowitzki at 50 years old. He's that guy, and he is tanking right now. I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to, but like Earl said, it's for the greater good. The return they're going to get next year for tanking this season is going to be so great. So I think that they just keep losing, be the worst team in the league right now. What you're going to get, and Obi Toppin is also not playing. Another role player that was really big in their playoff run last year. Like, they're sitting anybody that they possibly could, and I really like to see what they're going to look like in the future. Keep tanking. Shout out to the Pacers. You're doing it you're not doing it the ethical way, but we ball.
Yeah, like Jay said, it's not looking good over there in Pacerland right now, at least in the short-term success. They did get a win, as of recording this, their last game against Charlotte, so congratulations. You beat the second worst team in the NBA as the worst team in the NBA. They're 7-21 right now. Very likely they're not going to end any higher than 13th in the Eastern Conference. So I think they do have their eyes set on a top 3 pick. Unfortunately for them, in that top 3, it seems to be a pretty clear top 3 in college hoops right now, and none of them are at the center position. Between AJ DeBonza, Darren Peterson, and Cam Boozer. Obviously, their number one need after Miles Turner left is a center, so it's a little unfortunate that they couldn't get like a generational center in that top 3 if they land there. But should they actually land in the top 3 and, like I said, not be punished like some of these other tanking teams, I think it comes down to Cam Boozer or Darren Peterson, simply because AJ DeBonza, as good as he is, they already have Pascal Siakam. I think he is their power forward. I hate to say the future because he is a little on the older side, but I think he is going to be there for the next few years. I think they believe in their ability to win a championship with the Siakam and Halliburton core. So assuming you're building around that, I think it makes more sense to pick between Boozer and Peterson. And what that decision may come down to, obviously who's on the board when they pick, of course, but if they had their pick of the 2, it would probably come down to how much you believe in Ben Mathurin. Because like Jay said, Mathurin, he's injured right now. He's had a pretty good season, but I don't know if he's really showing that kind of borderline all-star potential that I think Pacers fans were hoping he would show this year, if he's really taken that enough of a step for them to say we're confident with him playing major minutes in the finals, versus an Andrew Nembhard, who maybe, you could argue, even though he doesn't put up quite the stats of a Ben Mathurin, he's been in the lineup and he's played major minutes. He was on that finals team. We've seen Andrew Nembhard step up when the lights are the brightest. So I think if you're the Pacers franchise and you trust in Nembhard, you go get Cam Boozer to put at the small forward position. 6'9", pretty efficient, shoots the 3 ball well enough. I think that'll translate at the NBA level, solid enough at the line, grabs rebounds as well. That's going to help out a lot, especially when you're trying to cobble together that center position. So if you're the Pacers, I think you got your eyes set on him or Darren Peterson. I do think Peterson, he's a little bit shorter. He's more of a 2-guard than a 3-guard from what I understand, but he wouldn't be bad. It would be kind of a small 3-man lineup with him, Nembhard, and Halliburton. But again, maybe they believe in Ben Mathurin enough to give him a big contract, and you're starting Mathurin at the 2, or you're starting Mathurin at the 3 and Peterson at the 2. So there are combinations there that could work out. Regardless, I do think that center position is going to have to be filled by free agency or trade. Maybe you go get a Nicholas Claxton. Maybe you go get a Daniel Gafford at this trade deadline. Maybe you try and go get Zubac off the Clippers if they enter a sell in the offseason. So I think if you're the Clippers, an ideal start to next year would look either Peterson or Boozer next to Halliburton, Nembhard or Mathurin, figure that out, Siakam set in stone, and then you go trade for a center. I think if you could run out a 5-man lineup that looks like that, the Pacers could very well be poised to make another run in the East.
Before we wrap, I want to zag real quick. I want to do this from a pessimistic standpoint as well. We're all being optimistic, looking for the future. They're going to be good. Not all these draft picks is going to be good. Yeah. They can drop to 4, pick Caleb Wilson, and Caleb Wilson's an absolute bust, and they just tank this year for no reason.
You remember who was picked 4 not too long ago? Patrick.
What happened?
It does happen. It does happen.
Yeah, why did you do
but
that?
Patrick Williams.
Why did you do that? Why did you have to bring
Patrick Williams was drafted.
That was crazy.
But look, Bulls. I don't know why would you draft a player at 4 who wasn't a starter? By the way,
you drafted a 6-man. That's all. That would go down as one of the worst draft picks and one of the worst contracts in the NBA. If Jonathan Isaac wasn't alive, he'd have the worst contract in basketball.
Then he forced him to pay him.
That's crazy.
Craziest, but yeah.
Man,
That's wild,
I hope
bro.
that this works out for the Pacers because they're really putting all their eggs in one basket. I love Siakam, Nembhard, and the guys. Hey, if that draft pick is not good, because AJ DeBanster to me is the consensus number one. He is a power forward with a jumper. I would absolutely get AJ, but if they end up getting like a Cole Pete or a Caleb Wilson, they don't pan out and they just put up this tank job for no reason, not gonna be a good look.
All right.
Facts, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
let us know in the comment section below what your thoughts on the Indiana Pacers are as a team. Are they in a good shape? Do you think they're going to rebound next year? Are they going to land that top 3 pick? Or is it going to be pick 5, no center play, back to the play-in for the Indiana Pacers? Let us know. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate all of you guys. Have a good day.
Peace.